has been a bit greedy. And when I say a bit, I should probably actually say a lot. This is someone who has upset their friends, upset their families, or perhaps this is a workplace and they are being pulled into HR to have a performance review and it's not looking so good. But we have somebody who's getting kicked out of a group or kicked out of their current like living situation, working situation, because they have been hoarding things for themselves or trying to make it look like other people are the problem when they're actually the problem. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. I hope you're having a good day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box for you, as is a link to more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members, and thank you to those who are using that new feature to hype my videos. I appreciate you. All right, let's dive in. We're going to start with what's the news. Hello, April. Hello, Famous Seamus. What's going on? What else do we have? Frenemy, fake friends, two-faced, and hidden intentions with the detective. So someone who's trying to come across as benevolent or, you know, I got your back, but really they're only looking out for themselves. And we have someone in the group who I feel from the very beginning or very close to it was like, I don't like this person and I'm going to figure out why. I'm going to do just a little bit of digging because I feel like I will find something that looks dirty. Something that we don't expect to find, right? Hello, Illuminati. How you doing? Hey, Dana. What's up? Okay. So this is someone who like kind of talks a big game in terms of what they can do. This could be someone who's very charming and gets people to agree to get married or start a family. This could be an entrepreneur type energy that gets people to invest. But whatever they get people to get excited about expecting, they run away as soon as things really like get serious. So even though they try to come off as someone who is irreplaceable or quite the catch, they're actually like a figment of your imagination. This is someone who has hidden intentions and has lied about, I feel like, their background or maybe even like who they are. Like could be as basic as they gave you a fake name, right? Hello, Pankaj. Hello, Enfance. How you doing? Hey, Michelle. Are you talking about the reading? Because I know you're going to be respectful in my live chat, right? To you too, Enfance. Ooh, okay. So we've got someone who has been greedy, like I said. I kind of hate this card, but it does say greed on it. And it's interesting because for some of you, this is regarding a physical relationship. We could have someone who's being kind of like bounced out of a friendship group because they had been called out or caught cheating on a close friend. In other words, I know you're cheating on my friend. Maybe they're a part of the friend group as well, right? But now we have the kinky ways card. Fantasies and fetishes, sexually open, looking to explore. So this is someone who gets kicked out of the group because they can't really defend their actions. They've been greedy and apparently also trying to hide their, I mean, you can hide your personal life and not feel horrible about it, right? But this seems a little bit questionable. So it would be like a professor trying to hide a relationship with a student, right? Or a boss who doesn't want HR to find out that they are in a relationship with someone that they're a boss to, right? So there's this serious conversation that's coming up where someone's sitting this person down and saying, you know, we just really need to know what's happening here because there's a couple stories out there and we just need to know what's your side. Don't ask them for the truth because they won't give you the truth, but what's your side of the story? Hey, Laura. Was that a whole question there, Otomus? It does happen sometimes. Hey James, how's it going? Hey President Brush, you are misinformed, dear sir. I will give you a baby timeout, and if you want to come back around, you're welcome to, but with respect, right? Hey Dooney, I remember you. Oh, that's funny. And then the next person says, hi, remember me? I'm sorry, Noah, I don't remember you. All right. I must grab the notepad. Thank you, Oracle. How are you doing today? No. Current feelings. For Priyanka. All right, I've got you added to the list. For others of you that are looking to get a personal question answered, I often do those at the end of these general readings, once we get $15 in tips. Wow, y'all thirsty today, huh? Hey, Otimus, I'm gonna put you in a timeout. You wanna come back? You're welcome to. I don't like your tone. No, I don't think so. And no, it's not. Is that what you were looking for? Wrong channel. Hello, Salsa. Thank you, Noah. Hello, Milan. Hello, Kingly Eagle. Bedlam, did I say hello to you? I'm dizzy from all of the timing out. Two of Swords, the Moon, and the Three of Pentacles, or the Three of Rings. So trying to keep a secret from their group of friends or their like cohort, their colleagues, right? Even though I do feel like there is camaraderie or some sense of trust here, this feels to me like they're hiding who they're cavorting around with, who they're getting naked with, and it's like in the group. So it could be a coworker, like I said, or their student, right? Hey, Jester. I think if you call yourself the Jester, you have to actually be funny. Yes, Noah, I am. Hello, Pratap. How are you doing? Nobody's perfect, right? By the way, this is the Marigold Tarot. Six of Swords and the Ten of Cups in the reverse. So honestly, there's multiple references with this house in the reverse, and then now we have the Ten of Cups in the reverse, and someone's getting like ousted, right? This feels to me like someone who's getting kicked out of a living situation. So we could have somebody who has maybe even like betrayed a close friend of theirs, slept with their best friend's girlfriend, that kind of thing. And they might live with their friends. This feels to me like someone who's getting booted from a living situation where they're like friends, not necessarily a romantic relationship, that they cohabitate with that are not very pleased with them. Oh, well, Noah, the shorts are not live. I record those ahead of time, but there's a lot of them. We have the Four of Wands and the King of Swords. This is about a house. This is about a living situation. We don't trust you anymore. You went behind your own friend or your own roommate's back and felt like it was appropriate to hit on their partner. Like, we don't like you anymore. Now, does it have to be hitting on someone's partner? It could have been that the other person initiated it, but there's something here about being greedy in a physically intimate way, and it has upset the friends, upset the group, because it's caused some heartbreak. 3 of Swords, 2 of Wands in the reverse, 8 of Swords in reverse. So we could have 2 people that, you know, were both in a relationship and they decided to disregard that. But it seems to be kind of like a spontaneous situation. Whatever they did do, though, the friends are aware of it. And it's like, I don't think I really want to deal with you anymore. If this is a professional setting, then someone has been trying to hide the fact that, you know, they went against company policy, or, you know, if this is like a college campus situation, maybe there's even laws, right? And they were trying to keep it secret, but there's a possibility here somebody is now pregnant, or there's a possibility that somebody who is looking out for one of these individuals is proclaiming through the streets loudly what they know, and it could put this person's job at risk. It could put this person's living situation at risk. 8 of Cups in the reverse, King of Rings or King of Pentacles in the reverse, and the 4 of Swords in the reverse. It doesn't feel to me like there's much opportunity to fix this, whatever they've done. It is coming back to them and causing a lot of instability, in part because they were pretty careless, and because, you know, some people say, like, I don't know if I should say that on YouTube. Don't poo where you eat. Can I say that? In reference to, it's not a very good idea to test those waters where you're working, because it could cause some problems for your finances, right? So either job interruptus or house interruptus. Like, I have caused some issues with the people around me by being greedy, and now there is some threat or some like risk that I'm not going to be able to pay my bills or live where I'm currently living. All right, this is the Black Tarot. Hey Hayden, how are you doing? Hey dude, how are you? Thank you, Rachel. Hey Frank. That's cool. You've got experience and I've got experience. Sounds like maybe you're using it a different way than I am. Aw, I'm glad to hear that, Noah. We all deserve to find some nice pockets of the internet where people are respectful, right? Grant, you're funny. Yeah, Frank, I heard that about cigarettes too, but respectfully, you believe whatever you want. I think it's all about intention and knowing what you're dealing with. Like, I would never use the Ouija board, for example. But I do appreciate your respectful approach to it, because there are people who come into the live chat with a lot less respect, right? So, thank you. I like that, Hayden. So we have the 8 of Cups from the Black Tarot. And this is about walking away, moving on to something different. 6 of Wands in the reverse, and the Sun. So I do think that this could be someone who tried to make some sort of change that would make it easier for them to keep this secret or keep seeing this person. This could be someone who moved to a different apartment. This could be somebody who very noticeably changed where they were sitting at a party. There's something here where they were trying to get away, and yet they still came back to this person. They still came back to this temptation. So they gave into that, and I think they were a little bit overly confident that they would be able to control the narrative or keep this secret. Isn't that always how it goes? Yeah, thank you for liking and subscribing. I appreciate it. 3 of Swords again. Page of Cups. And the Page of Spheres or Page of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Lovers in the reverse. This is someone who is trying to make it seem like they didn't have a choice, or trying to make the other person seem more culpable. So this could be, if it were that professor and student situation, this is like someone saying, no, I really did like try to resist my student like multiple times, but it was really hard to like stick to my principles because that student kept showing up. Well, they paid for the class, so they're probably going to keep showing up. It's like they're making these really weak excuses, like, I just, you know, I wanted to do right by the law, or I didn't want to break that promise, or, you know, I didn't really want to hurt my friend by flirting with their person, but like, they were looking so hot all the time. Like, what'd you expect me to do, you know? Hey, Paul. Back again. Hey, Mavis, how are you doing? No, really, I tried to resist. It was just too much work, okay? Hello, Amy, how are you doing? 3 of Cups, 5 of Spheres, or 5 of Pentacles in the reverse. I don't know, man. My hands had a mind of their own. You know, I couldn't say the word no because I don't speak that language. Like, so many dumb excuses. I'm sorry. Maybe I shouldn't use the word dumb, but they are trying to justify their actions, and they're doing so very poorly. Like, could you put in a little bit of effort? Just a little bit. And so now there's a lot of people looking at this person as someone who just like gave in to their temptations, didn't really seem to have much self-control, even though they knew that they were going to be, you know, potential problems. Like, I could lose my job for this, or I could get kicked out of the friendship group for this, right? Whatever that risk was. Hey, Tom, how are you doing? So we have the Magician, 2 of Spheres or 2 of Pentacles, and the 6 of Spheres or 6 of Pentacles in the reverse. So I do think there's some level of control or power that this person had. I mean, even if you want to argue that a professor does not have any power, they do. That's why they're not supposed to get involved with their students, right? This is something where I feel like I can make this work without anybody realizing. And this 6 of Pentacles in the reverse is making me see that scene with Indiana Jones when he's swapping out, what is it, a bag of gold? I can't remember. Somebody feels like they can just like substitute in something, justification or logic or something, and everything will be just fine, but they don't have the grasp on the situation that they think they do. This is the Egyptian Tarot. Hey, Redbeard, how's it going? We call that the old switcheroo. What else do we have? We have the Moon, Queen of Swords in the reverse, and the 3 of Pentacles. More and more, this is talking about how a group of people, because we had the community card at the beginning, right? A group of people are like We don't like what you did, see? We think you're real greedy, see? Whatever you did, we don't like it. And you're like part of us. You're in the group. You work with us, or maybe our reputation is tied to your reputation. And we don't like that anymore because you make mistakes. You were selfish, right? Hello, Peter. How are you doing? 9 of Swords and the Death card. Oh, Lord. So then they freak out because there's a moment where someone's like, oh, well, that doesn't sound right. Or didn't you say it was this and not that? So then they have to change their story. Oh, yeah, you're right. No, I did start seeing that individual, 1 week into the semester, but I told you it was later because I just completely forgot that it was that early on. They're trying to minimize, like, what involvement they had or what consequences they should get, and then get pushed to basically say, oh, yeah, you know what? That's right. I was trying to lie. Oops. Silly me. I don't recall. Hey Trey, how are you doing? I like it. Did I miss a good comment? Hello Vaishali, how are you doing? Yeah, I think dude really ate his Wheaties this morning. Hey Stumpy, what's going on? We've got the Lovers. Wow, the 6 of Wands and the reverse. Knight of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. I think this person's losing their job. For others of you, this person is being kicked out of a living situation. It depends on how they're connected to this group of people, but this community is like, but I don't like you. Show yourself, Banshee. Sorry. It comes out every once in a while. It's a funny comment. But whatever they did, however they have been greedy in their romantic or physical pursuits, there are people who are saying that is not cool. That person was off limits to you either because of company regulations, literal actual laws, or like, I don't know, what is it? Like bro etiquette? Bros before hoes. What's the other one? This is, you've upset a group of people because you had the rules that you were supposed to be operating within and you decided to go, not for me. Thanks though. Nice try. Dude, what are you waiting for? Sorry. There's gonna be a sequel now, or like a new version of it. I'm gonna have to see it. So we have the Devil in the reverse and the High Priestess. Their secret is out. Everybody knows they gave in a temptation, something that they should not have done. And that is why they are now like persona non grata. They don't have the friends they used to. They don't have the support they used to. They may be losing their job. They may be getting kicked out of their living situation. But there's definitely consequences here. And I don't think they really felt that was a risk for them. I think they really believed that they would be able to avoid those consequences. It's true. All right, what else do we have? So we've got Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. Oh, who's leaving? Nobody's leaving. We're here on the daily. We've got Queen of Pentacles in the reverse for the second time, by the way. And I was just saying someone's losing their job. This doesn't have to be a person. I have to show you that card really fast because this deck likes to show off the boobies. And the YouTubies don't like the boobies. They get all mad, you know? Uh-huh, that makes sense. So we've got Four of Cups. So not only has this person potentially lost their job or lost where they were living, there's a number of people who are looking at them as, don't look at me, I'm not going to help you. Just because you got kicked out over there, just because you lost that job doesn't mean I'm going to offer you something here. So this perception of their morality or integrity is spreading, or a lot of people feel like it's justified to judge them. Yep. Oh my God, they're everywhere, you guys. Holy buckets. Okay, hold on. Let me get all of these cads. Hey, Donald, how are you doing? Thank you for the tip. Let me write your name down. I assume it'll be all right if I pull a few cards for you, Donald. Potatoes au gratin? That's pretty delicious, too. Hello, Juliet. How are you doing? All right, so we do have... Oh, look at that. Half of these cards have no boobies. So we have, just had a double check, the Four of Swords. Interesting because we just had the Four of Cups. So the number 4 could be important. It kind of feels to me like that's the core group of people who are like, we don't like what you did. We're going to tell everybody what you did. We're going to make sure other people judge you for what you did. Because whatever you did, judgment is in the reverse because you made a poor choice. Page of Wands is in the reverse. Gotta cover the boobies. Because it's bad news for you, Bear. There's somebody here who's like, we know what you did. Doesn't matter what you say, doesn't matter how you try to explain it. We think that that was a really bad choice and we don't want to deal with somebody like that. I mean, if you're a professor who gets with your student, I have to imagine there are a number of universities and schools that would be like, no, we don't want to sign up for that lawsuit. Get out of here. Yes, but dude, I think we should spell it B-E-W. B-I-E-S. Just to be weird, right? All right. Oh, I forgot about these other ones. Hold on a second, you guys. Remember I like dropped like half the deck out? We've got the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, the Hermit, and the Nine of Swords in the reverse. So this individual who felt like they were pretty cool and felt like they didn't need to follow any rules. They're finding out that they should have listened to their intuition. Oh, those the boobies. Don't tell anyone, you guys. They're finding out they should have actually followed those rules because they were important and because they are not invincible. So now here they are on an island all by themselves. You're asking where? Oh, you can't see them? Yeah. That's because they're hiding. This person's like freaking out because they don't have a lot of options. They don't have a lot of friends. They are very much so on their own. They didn't expect that everyone would like shun them for this, but that's where they're at. Redbeard. Yeah, can we get that in the dictionary? That would be great. I mean, if we're spelling that differently, we probably have to spell dictionary differently. Hey, Dana. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know, man. This person really didn't think things would blow up as much as they did, or that everybody would care as much as they do, but whatever etiquette or like actual rule that they broke, it's taken seriously by everyone, right? Energy check. I got you, Dana. And if and if you all have a personal question, I will take those questions once we hit the $15 in tips priority to those who are tipping, of course. But I like to do some freebies as well. So we have Queen of Wands in the reverse, Page of Swords in the reverse. They got a lot of pages in the reverse. Now, why is that? Because they're getting bad news, because the information about them makes them look bad. So this person has been more or less canceled, more or less like booted from the group or kicked out. I can't show you either of these cards. Sorry. Well, here, I'll just cover the one there. They don't have a lot of opportunities. This person might literally have to move out of the town in order to escape the problems they've created for themselves with this reputation or with this decision, right? Hey, Lee, how you doing, hun? I got you. What do we want? Probably the situation stack. That is kind of wild, Illuminati. It's almost a book, right? I don't know what you mean, Adam. Are you asking why do I do what I offer to do? Oh no, it happens. So we have access granted, social media, fake profile and hiding, anxiety and recalling. So this person is seeing that on social media, everyone is talking about them, things are going viral, people might be kind of trashing them more on social media. This person feels like they can't go where they normally would go. People are glaring at them when they feel like whatever they did was just fine. They're thinking about, you know, how much fun they had. I don't know if they're going to be able to recall that as easily though, right? Hey, Graph. No, and don't ask again. You'll get timed out if you do. You might even get timed out now, just to warn you. Behave. So this is someone who thought that they could get away with being kind of like jokesy about it, right? Like, oh, I did a thing, I shouldn't have done it. Oops, it's fine. That's not going over well for them. There's a lot of judgment here. I think this person literally has to move elsewhere because whatever rule they broke, whatever temptation they gave into, people are just not here for it. And I do think it impacts their professional career or like their living situation. Maybe it's harder for them to rent, right? Adam's funny. Hello, Mac. Hey, Holly. Most people tip about $5. Hello, Dylan. How are you doing? Do I know any classic Norwegian folktales? I mean, the only thing I can really say is I know a bunch of Ole and Lena jokes, but I would never dare tell them because my mother tells them so much better than I do. So you could always look up Ole and Lena. O-L-E, right? Yeah. And L-E-N-A for Lena. And I think they pretty routinely have jokes involving Ole's friend Sven. S-V-E-N. So shout out to Norway. I love you. I visited Bergen, among other places, and it was just epic. And then just like randomly, Aha was performing in an outdoor concert, and I was like, okay, I'm here for it. This is great. So this person who made a mistake and got greedy, put their pants down apparently. This person's going through a lot of chaos, a lot of drama because of this choice, because they thought it was okay to get with their student or whatever it was, right? I'm talking professor. Sorry. This is like, they really didn't think people would be so mad at them. They really didn't think everybody would find out. This is why, you know, a lot of people just don't give in to temptation, right? Because there are consequences. Oops. Hold, please. That's so cool. Hello, Beverly. How are you? It's true. That's how it goes. Hello, Lilith. Hello, Adnan. So we have the anchor, number 35, stability. This is what is impacted by this person's decision. So they thought they could just kind of like do whatever they wanted, no big deal. And then I wouldn't have to, you know, deal with any consequences because I can just talk my way out of it. But they didn't want to believe or didn't foresee that it would impact their social community and their professional community, right? It's such a beautiful place. I hope I get to go back there. I was lucky enough to go on Norway in a Nutshell, which allows you to see Norway from a bus, a train, and a boat, which I would say is pretty much like a requirement if you go there. Yeah, Peter, I'm not going to tell you where I live. We've got the stars. Oh, you might hear some stomach growls because apparently I'm getting a little bit hungry right now. If I talk long enough, maybe then you won't hear that. All right. So this stars card, this is talking about someone who I feel has a lot of potential and has a lot of like bubbly energy or very charming energy. I feel like this is the person that they were not supposed to be pursuing and that they pursued. So it does look to me like things have finally ended between these two, the two that should not have been involved. There does seem to be a lot more judgment on the other person's shoulders because I feel like there was something about their profession. Maybe this was like a therapist, right? But they knew better and then they still made a bad decision. This is the Gypsy Oracle. Doesn't everyone? That's funny. I'm shorter than that, Hayden. Oh well. We have malady in the reverse. Malady, excuse me, is like kind of an old school word for sickness. You can see somebody's in bed, like, I mean, I coughed, so I guess that's appropriate, right? This is someone who's playing the victim. Excuse me, where is this coming from? Oh, maybe it was the Red Bull. Look, this is somebody who's like trying to find a way to get people to feel sorry for them. How can I make you feel like I wasn't the problem, but rather like, oh no, I just like tripped and hurt myself? No, you pursued a relationship that you shouldn't have, right? Hello, Koto. How are you doing? I don't know. It sounds like I'm like 5'4", dude. Like, it's not going to make a difference. We have service in the reverse. So they failed to do what they were supposed to do in that situation, either out of respect for their friends or their family or out of respect for their profession, whatever it was. That's true. Or like my buddy had to start his own shoe company because he could never find shoes that were big enough. Go ahead, check it out. It's xlfeet.com. I don't really talk to him anymore because I don't live in Minnesota and, you know, things happen. But he was an awesome dude that I used to work with. Always had trouble finding shoes, you know? I did not get paid for that, by the way. We've got letter. I don't know if I've ever read this. Okay, so Italian, I think. Signatore, Moonbello. Wait, no. I think Italians do the double L as an actual L, right? Would it be Moonbello? Leisure? Or is that an I? Maybe that's an I. Isara? Anyways, I don't speak Italian, so don't judge me on that. This is an envelope, okay? This is communication that somebody gets, and I feel like it's a termination letter. I feel it's like, hey, it's been real great working with you until you decided to break one of our really important rules. So now we're gonna ask you to leave. Now we're gonna ask you to, like, adios. Hello, Kat. How are you doing? Hello, Dylan. So we've got merchant and constancy in the reverse. Yeah, this job is not theirs anymore. They thought that they were going to be able to avoid any consequences, but now they are packing up and moving, or they're realizing they can't find success here because people don't take them seriously. They're looking at where they could make this money if they can't make it here. Looks like I have to move. Looks like I can't stay here because none of these people like me anymore. They're all judging me for that thing that I did. This is what happens. How is this a shocker to you? You know, like, I don't know. People are weird sometimes, you guys. All right, this is the Earth Bones Tarot. Hey, Dr. Emery, how are you doing? Top of the morning to you. Hello, Eliza. How are you doing? Knight of Jars or the Knight of Cups in the reverse. Oh, somebody's moody. Oh my gosh, it's the BBW star. What's up? How's it going, Gilmore? Nope. That's too far, Gilmore. I'm not gonna time you out, but I'm gonna tell you right now, we gotta be respectful, okay? We don't need to be getting all descriptive like that. When I say how's it going, I just want you to know it's been, or I want you to tell me it's been successful. Hello, Manny. Hello, Kristen. Without tomato sauce? Seems like a... There we go, Gilmer. I'm happy to see that. I actually saw like a gas station, I think that it was named, or maybe it was a liquor store named Gilmer, and I was like, man, I wonder how that BBW dude's doing. All right, so we've got 4 of Wicks or 4 of Wands in the reverse. This is saying, look, we know what you did last summer. We don't like it. You clearly don't care about rules. You just do whatever you feel like doing. That doesn't work for us. So now we have somebody who is moody and depressed. And the thing I'm seeing in my mind is Robert Downey Jr. in the Sherlock Holmes movie. It must have been the second one, right? Wasn't there 2? You guys help me out. But you know, where like Watson, aka Jude Law, did I just like miss the D there? Jude Law has like, I don't know, decided he has to get all of the shades open and get Robert Downey Jr. like out of his depression and like back out around people. And I think that's when he introduces his fiance, right? Yeah. This is someone who's like, hey, guess what? Everybody hates me, so I'm just gonna like retire to a corner of the world and be upset about it. Because I made a poor choice and now I can't live the life that I used to live. So like, what are these called? Fighting fish. Beta? Like this fish, he's got to isolate himself because everybody else wants to fight him. Seven of Wands or Seven of Wicks in the reverse. They feel like everybody wants to judge them. Everybody wants to make them feel bad. So now they've gone from, I've got control, I can do whatever I want, I can, you know, have my cake and eat it too. This person now is like, everybody hates me, get away from me, right? Hey, Kristen, that is not what I do. El Camino. So we've got the Two of Jars, the Two of Cups. And this, let me tell you, is a weird depiction of it, okay? We've got jars with chickens. I'm pretty sure they're chickens sitting on top of the jars. I don't know why that's supposed to communicate love, but it really does though, right? Hey, that's a really nice jar you got there. I don't know, I like mine better. It works. This is weird, you guys. I feel like this person makes a friend who is like, whatever, you were a jerk, you did some dumb stuff, but I did some dumb stuff back then too, whatever. So even though they have been canceled or they get like booted from this original community or this professional world, there's someone here who's like, whatever, you're fine. And this person helps to change their perspective. This person helps them to realize, you know what, my life's not over. I made a mistake. I did something I shouldn't have done. And it did have some pretty serious consequences, but I could still find something else to do with my life. So I gotta say, this is a kind soul, right? Whoever this person is, they're like, yeah, we all make mistakes. But like, what are you doing to like move on? What are you doing to like keep it moving, right? Yep. I think more so the chickens was what was confusing me. So we have the Sun in the reverse. This person is in a depression and making things a little bit more difficult for themselves than they need to when someone comes along and says, hey, you know what, like, it's fine. Yeah, you did something you shouldn't have. We've all looked like a twat at some point. Just like, you know, get it back together, figure it out, put your ducks in a row. I said ducks. This is like someone who's just kind of pushing them around a little bit, but like in a friendly way. I'm seeing the dude from, what's that movie called? City Slickers. Pretty old movie. Billy Crystal, Daniel Stern. Is it Joe Pesci? I think it's somebody else. But I'm seeing the old cowboy dude who was like, this is the thing. This is the most important thing in your life. And they all go crazy over like, what does that mean? Oh my God, mind exploding. But it's the old wise cowboy dude is who I'm seeing in my mind. And it's like, you did some stupid stuff. Find me someone who didn't or who isn't going to. We all have to live and learn. And sometimes that means we look like a total idiot at times. But like, let's not just like dwell on it, right? All right, let's see. This is the Tarot de la Nuit, and then we're already almost to 50 minutes, so I better dive into these personal questions. I know, we're only at $10. I'm gonna do them anyways. I think it'll just be I don't do the freebies then. That's awesome. Yes, old dude's name was Curly. What a great name. All right. So this person's apparently going to be able to figure out a different existence. Maybe it's a little bit more solitary. Maybe it's enough time for them to really think about their actions and learn a little bit more compassion or respect for others. Appreciating that accountability can be a good thing, right? Helps us grow. We have the World and the Queen of Wands. So now this is somebody who realizes maybe I was being a little bit unreasonable. Maybe I was too quick to set aside the rules that made sense. Now they're able to see things in a different perspective, be a little bit more realistic with themselves. And I do feel like there's an apology here, a sincere one. Page of Wands and the Three of Swords. So I gotta give it to this person. It feels to me like they are actually learning a lesson from this situation. They know they caused some problems. Oh, thank you, dude. Do you want me to pull some cards for you? This is like, yeah, I realize now that what I did was wrong, and I should have taken it seriously more than I did back then. Aw, y'all are so sweet. Thank you. And Donald, did you say that you did want me to pull a few cards for you? No worries, Beverly. Hello, Every Adventures. How are you doing? All right, let's go to the personal questions for you all. We'll do the Tarot of the Nile. All right, sounds good, Donald. You're right, Grant. I like that. Yeah, no problem, dude. Thank you. Aw, thank you, Illuminati. Would you like me to pull some cards for you? Let me know. I'm happy to. All right, we're going to start with Oracle, who was asking what the current feelings are for Priyanka by Kunal. So what does Kunal currently feel? That there is something that unfairly makes this situation not possible. That if we were to be together, if I were to pursue you, there would be some pretty serious consequences, right? No worries, Illuminati. You let me know when you're not, okay? So yeah, this is like, I don't like it. I'm mad about it because I feel like we would be happy. Temperance. But if I were to choose you, this is what would happen. Everybody would lose their mind. So I do feel like there's some hesitation or like reticence, like holding back those emotions, right? And hello, Naomi. Hello, Take Out. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna call you Takeout. Cool. Everybody loves Takeout. All right. Good luck to Priyanka for that. And let's see. Donald, we've got a random card pull. What do we have for Donald, please? Ace of Cups, Nine of Wands, and the reverse. Ace of Swords, and the reverse. Judgment. Wow, interesting to have pulled two of the aces when I only have pulled 4 cards. This is basically saying we've got somebody here who is maybe being a little bit defensive, overly protective, or even like possessive. I don't know why. I'm getting that this could be like a parent-child situation. So it's showing me, maybe I shouldn't say who it's showing me. It's showing me someone that I know that is very involved in their child's life, overly protective. So I do think that there's something here about hold off on making your decision or saying something to this person. I do feel like they're being unreasonable or taking something too far, but there's something that seems to suggest this is someone who's going to become aware of that. They're going to maybe even call themselves out. So, hey, I'm sorry. I know I took things a little bit too far. I was trying to protect my kid, and that was probably a little bit paranoid of me. So you might be getting an apology, or you might be hearing somebody explain why they did something, and it's because they're just maybe a little bit too cautious or concerned about what's going on with their kid. Just stick with being funny looking. I agree, Donald. I like that. All right, so we've got an energy check for Dana on the connection with Bond. What do we have regarding the current energy between Dana and Bond, please? Star in the reverse. The Fool. And the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. So this feels to me like we've got somebody that is trying to figure out how to be prepared for the next chapter or the next like requirements, right? This is, I think, a sense of feeling unprepared or not ready, wondering what I need to do to like address that, and feeling a little bit overwhelmed. But we do have the Five of Swords in the reverse. So this is somebody who's acknowledging, I know I have a tendency to deal with things in kind of an impulsive way, but I don't want to allow for any self-sabotage. So this is like introspection. I'm trying to make sure that I look at things in a different way so that I don't repeat the mistakes that I had made previously. All right, and then we have Lee. Random card pull for Lee. Hey Carrie, how are you doing? Hello Scott. Hello Michael. Random cards for Lee, please. What do we have for Lee? We've got the Hanged Man and the Six of Swords, King of Wands, and the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. So there is something that upon, and it looks to me like things are moving in the right direction for you. The Six of Swords is about things moving into calmer waters. Oh, you're so welcome, Dana. The King of Wands, for me, I think it would be easy to associate that with somebody who is victorious, but we've got the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse right next to the King of Wands. It tells me that we've got somebody who's overly confident about their chances of getting their way, and a decision being made in a way that they're surprised by. So I do feel like you know somebody who's going to get some bad news this week that thought that they were for sure going to win because they feel like they always win, right? Queen of Wands and the reverse Queen of Swords. The problem is there's someone here who got overly emotional. So when the decision is made, I do feel like things will be at least tolerable, or like you're cool with it, if not like in your favor. Sending you good luck, Lee. And then we had, did you say? I just have to check with what dude said. No, I'm good. Okay. So I'm going to take a couple of freebies because I do believe I got through my list. And thank you to the generous gentleman in the live chat. I swear I just saw one. Naomi, you said pull some cards for the guy that I'm talking to right now. Just curious about the overall energy. So let's see what we've got for Naomi and the current boo. What do we have for Naomi and the current boo? Running away from me. Here. King of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, Two of Swords. I think we have someone trying to determine whether or not there's potential for a long-term relationship here. Now that could be on your side, right? But we have this King of Swords is all ears, right? They got those elephant ears. And then this Queen of Pentacles is just kind of like sitting back and listening. So I do feel like there's a bit of analyzing each other, right? Like, is this going to move to the next level? Is this not going to? Because we're approaching this time where we have to make a decision. It feels like there's this maybe elephant in the room where we're going to have to figure out, like, just, is this like emotional? Is this like serious? Is this something that you want? Because if not, then I probably need to like keep it moving. conversation that happens in the near future. I do feel like it's important for you, if you have feelings, to express those feelings. Is he feeling romantic feelings? Yes, but nervous to actually like identify them as such, right? Kind of like, maybe I think those are feelings. I don't know. I didn't really ask, you know? Did somebody make a horrible comment? Thank you to the moderators for being amazing. April would like to know what's going on with regards to the soon-to-be ex-husband and custody. Sending you protective and Three of Wands and Strength. And the Eight of Cups. There is heavy protective energy around you right now, and it does look like you have some sort of sense that something's about to happen that could be a little bit frustrating. It's like you're kind of like buckling down or like getting ready to hear some bad news. But what I'm seeing is that you have been able to avoid a pretty negative fortune situation, right? Maybe this is even your ending this relationship and walking away is clearing, was kind of on your plate because you were associating with this person. So Six of Wands in the reverse and the Hanged Man in the reverse. You see this person differently, I'm sure you do. And as a result, they're being a little bit extra defensive. Let me ask specifically about custody. What will happen with regards to custody? There's definitely some lying happening here. Because I'm so upset, I want to make you look bad kind of thing. This will be discovered. So if you're being made to look like a horrible person, those lies will be uncovered. So sending you good luck. Oh, I'm sorry.